quickly film a tutorial on the eye look that I have on today. Well, it's actually tonight, but anyways. So I used the Naked 3 palette, an oldie but a goodie. I was just really feeling the pink hue tones in it. Such a gorgeous palette, and I hadn't used it in like forever, so I decided to do a look with it, and I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, so this is the look that I created. I used all Naked 3 palette shadows except for one. I wanted to add a little bit of glitter and shimmer to the look, so I used one shadow by ColourPop, which I will show you guys in a little bit when I get there. And it's super affordable. If you've never heard of ColourPop, you can get it online, and their shadows are $5, and they are super amazing, super pigmented, super creamy, and they have really great formulations. So other than that, this is a solely Naked 3 palette, and you guys want, like I said before, if you want to see this, how I created this look, just keep watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you later, guys. Bye.
So we're going to start off by priming our eyes with Urban Decay's Primer Potion, and I had it upside down, my bad, guys. And the application kind of sucks because my applicator was broken when I bought it or when I ordered it offline, and I don't want to not use it or just throw it away because it's broken until it's finished, because it is a really good eye primer. So I'm just working with it, and I'm just going to set that, rub it in, and yep. Next up, to set the primer that we just put on our eyelids, we're going to use Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist Palette in the shade Buttery. I love this shadow because it's the closest thing that I've ever seen to my skin tone. It comes off very matte but creamy, so it just works out really well for putting down as a base to help all the shadows we're about to use blend out seamlessly. So use whatever works best for you. If you have similar skin tones to me, I definitely recommend this shadow. Next, we're going in with the Naked 3 palette in the Sigma E40. So we're going to start off by taking Limit, which I failed to show you on the palette in the video, on our Sigma E40, and what we're going to do is we're just going to take that and we are going to start dusting that into our crease and also a little bit above our crease, just as to put down as the transition color, just so that all of the shadows, darker shadows that we'll be using in just a little bit, will blend out seamlessly and it won't leave any harsh lines. I also take this up above my crease a bit because, like I said, there will be some darker colors and sometimes they do not cooperate, and it just works better if you have the transition shade up above ready to where you can just like blend it out easier, if that makes any sense at all. Next up, we're going to use the good old Scotch tape trick, and what you want to do is make sure that you apply it onto the back of your hand 1 or 2 times first, so that way it's not too tacky or too sticky, because where we are placing it is partly underneath your eye, which is very sensitive, so you want to make sure it's not too tacky when you go to peel it off. And make sure that they're even with the other eye. So next up, we are taking the shade Nooner, which is a little bit darker than Limit, and we're going to take that on our E40, the same one we use with Limit, and we're going to apply that into our crease, specifically in our crease. We're not going to take this higher like we did with the Limit. We want to add some depth to our crease and really carve out our crease a little bit more with this, so make sure that you keep it in your crease, and then make sure you blend everything out really seamlessly once you are finished getting the desired depth that you want in your crease. So next up, we're going to take our Sigma E55 brush, which is a shader brush. You can use any shader brush that is similar. I know that e.l.f. has a C brush that's very similar and will do the same job for much cheaper. And you can take the shade Dust, and what we're going to do with it is we're going to take that on our shader brush, flat shader brush, and we're going to pack this all over our lid. And we're going to be very generous with this, and we're going to take it all the way up to our crease and partly into our crease. We'll go back and blend that out in just a little bit after this step. But we want to be very generous. I want this to have a lot of color, and this shade is not the most pigmented shade in the palette, so you really have to pack it on. Okay, so next we're going to take the shade Buzz on the same flat shader brush that we used with dust. And what we're going to do is we're going to place that right on the center of the lid, like perfectly in the middle. I wanted a mid-tone pink to kind of balance out, going from the super light dust all the way to the dark color that we have going on in the outer V. So apply this generously as well. And now we're going to take the Sigma E25 and we are going to take the shade Black Heart, which is the darkest shadow in this palette. And we're going to lightly tap our brush into it, and it's going to have a ton of fallout, which I'm going to tap on my wrist, as you can see there. It's a very dry shadow. It's not creamy, so I tap it on my, not my wrist, but like the back of my hand, so that I don't have a ton of fallout on my face because I've already done my face at this point. So, and also some of it does get beyond the tape, I've found. So I find it's better to just work with less product and build it up and pack it on slower versus getting too much and having a disaster. So I'm just working on packing this shade on and blending it into the crease and in my outer V. Lots and lots of blending. Next, I'm going back in with Limit, the lightest transition shade that we started off with on my Sigma E40. And I'm just going to blend out that black heart that I showed, that I just used because I don't want any harsh lines. So we're just going to blend that out until it looks nice and seamless, until I'm happy with it. So I'm going to take the shade Buzz on my Sigma E55 and I'm going to apply that right in the center of my eye just to help blend out the black heart, so it blends nicely into the lighter dust shade that we have on the inner part of our eyes. And I'm also taking a little bit more dust and I'm dusting that in the inner portion of my eyes. So next I'm going back in with my E25 and the black heart, and I'm going in to deepen up the outer corner because I did blend away a lot of the color and I wanted it to be darker. However, this is not necessary. If you wanted to do a more daytime appropriate look, you can just omit this step and it's a more daytime appropriate look. But if you want to do a nighttime look or going out look, then you can do this step and darken it back up. And we're just going to blend that in and repeat what we did the first time. And again, this is going to be the only shadow that is not a part of the Naked 3 palette that I'm going to use. It's the ColourPop Tea Party, and I'm using this on my inner corner of my eye over where we put the dust, just because I felt like it needed an extra little bit of glitter and sparkle next to the dark black that we applied. And also, if you want to make it more daytime appropriate, you can forego the glitter. It's all up to what you want. And next, once again, I'm going back in with Buzz for like the 500,000th time with my E55, and I'm just reapplying it over to blend the new ColourPop Tea Party and the black heart out as the mid-tone color. Yes, I know it's a bunch of steps, but all these steps do make a difference, and it's all a part of the look, I promise. And also, I go back in with a little bit of dust because I felt like I got a little too much glitter and I wanted it to match the other eye that was already finished. So I went in and just added a little bit more dust to cover up the Tea Party glitter I had going on. So of course, I'm repeating another step yet again, going in with the E25 and darkening up that outer corner and giving it just a little bit more definition of being a cat eye with black heart. And I'm going to blend that out because I did get a little bit of harsh edges, but I'm going to be very light-handed while I'm blending this out because I do not want to blend away all the color. As I've clearly stated earlier, I want this to be a dramatic cat eye look. So for the last step, I'm going in with Strange as my highlight shade, and I just grabbed the first brush that came to my hand, and happens to be a Morphe brush. I can't remember the name of it, but I will link it down below. And I'm just highlighting my brow bone. So this is the most relieving moment of like life is removing the tape from underneath your eye. I love it. I'm going in with the Star Looks Pro in the shade Blackest Black, I do believe. It is a felt tip eyeliner pen, and it's my absolute favorite for doing a cat eye. I'm not a fan of the liquid eyeliner brushes. I do not have a steady hand, and this is just the most surefire way for me to get a perfect cat eye. If you're not good at creating a winged eyeliner, I suggest leaving the tape on a little bit longer and using that as your guide, and it will give you a flawless sharp edge. But I went ahead and took the tape off and just went ahead and started creating my wing. Next, I'm using my Ardency N Modester eyeliner in black to fill in my waterline, as you can see right here. I decided not to tightline, so I decided to fill in my waterline with this. Next, I'm taking a flat definer brush, and mine is from Sephora, so I'm going to take the shade Dark Side from the Naked 3 palette, and I am going to apply that right underneath my lash line, very close to as close as possible to my lash line. And I'm going to bring that all the way around. So next I'm going to take a pencil brush. You can use any kind of pencil brush you want, but mine happens to be the Sigma Pencil E30. And I'm going to take the shade Limit, I do believe, and I am going to use this to smudge out my lower lash line where we applied the dark side. So take your time with this and blend as long as you can, or as long as you feel necessary. The longer you blend, the better it's going to look. So don't be afraid of blending until your arm feels like it's going to fall off. Next, I'm going to apply some mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Blackest, or it's just black, I think. I don't think I use Blackest Black. And I always apply mascara to the back of my lashes first. I just feel it gives them a more full and voluminous look. And I honestly do not use false lashes that often. I have really long, thick eyelashes that I was blessed with, and a lot of times I can get away with not having to apply falsies, which I love. So, but I have a special trick which I will show you of how I make my eyelashes look like I have natural looking falsies on. So, I apply about 2 coats of this to the lashes. Next up, I'm going to use the Maybelline's Colossal Volume in the yellow tube, and I wait about 30 seconds before using the second mascara after using the voluminous mascara from L'Oreal, and I only apply 1 coat of this. But I've found that this combination of mascaras just works really well for me. It does not clump, and it's just my favorite. So that's my secret. Here I'm just applying mascara to my lower lash line, or my lower lashes, and I'm just using the Maybelline Colossal Volume that I was just using on my top lashes to finish that up. So this is my final result, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!